Hello my friends, Seafood J here of Artist of Truth. It's going to be an interesting video for me. I usually don't address this nonsense, and it wouldn't be the first time in my life that I've had to do it, even in the last 5 years. But occasionally I have to address crazy stories. I usually let crazy stories play out. When people find out on their own what's going on, they can believe what they want. But now I understand, regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, why he essentially called media outlets the scum of the earth. Because of what they do. You could be hitting slam dunks all of your life, like I've been doing for most of my adult life. Crushing it. On tour. Music contract. On the road. Crushing the money. Slam dunk. Bam! Barely hits the news. Be the first guy ever to do what's called a Dharma talk. If you don't know what that is, was the first person ever to hold a public Dharma talk, which is an Eastern philosophy talk in Myrtle Beach, aimed towards people with stress issues, post-traumatic stress, all of those things. Slam dunk, bam, first time ever. Helping veterans and all that stuff. Never makes the news. Never once, not a blink of it. You could be rescuing babies from the beach, just drowning, just running by, just freaking hitting it out the park. Boom! Never makes the news. Never once. They don't report on it. I, along with one of my students, was the first people ever to set up a class inside the Market Common. I won't say where it was at. Not at this moment, because I don't want to attach their name to any negative connotation with this story. But it was the first people ever to set up a class specifically for women who've been the victims of like domestic violence, sexual assault, all that stuff. Meditation classes geared towards helping them through their stress management, anxiety, all these things like that. Slam dunk, bam, barely a problem. Never once hits the news. Never once. Not in a big way. We did our own publications and things like that. Never reported. The band, been on the charts, nearly #1. We're #1 right now. But we were #1 or in the top 10 on Reverb Nation, the blues rock charts for this region of the entire United States for 10 years straight. Never once has it been in the news. Never one time. So I usually don't address this stuff, but you could do anything. Somebody can accuse you, and that story will run for 40,000 people. You can be accused of anything. You could be doing all these things, like I said, hitting it out in the park, slam dunk. I've dealt with lying women my whole life. Guys lie for sure, but personally in my aspect, when you have somebody who can't get to you any other way, what do? Create some kind of story to try to keep your children away from you. You crush, that's barely a layup. And it's not even a slam dunk. You don't need to dunk on that one. You just lay that up. Boom. I've been crushing those all my life, dealing with liars. Even if they spent their whole life developing the ability to lie, you can lay that up, boom, when you tell the truth all the time. It comes out just like that. So I don't need to dunk that one, that's a layup. But yet it's on the news. It's on the news. It's a crazy thing. And I don't blame the viewers and the people for going, wait, what? What's going on? Calling all their friends? I don't think my phone didn't blow up yesterday. I thought the thing was going to actually explode. But you know what? I'm always surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised, because every time it's happened, stuff's happened with wives in the past and other circumstances and all, and everybody floods me with all this great stuff. Sure, there's a couple haters on there. Yeah, look at you now, big boy. Superstar, where you at now? Clack, clack. What kind of bird doesn't sing? I hear it all. That kind of stuff. But it doesn't get to me. But, you know, that's kind of slim and rare. The rest of the time, yesterday, I hadn't even been home a few hours, and over 2,000 people had already messaged me or sent me something online through all of the different, not all in one spot, but a lot of them on Facebook, but on Instagram. My Twitter was blowing up. Facebook certainly was. My analytics, woo! I guess the old saying, even bad publicity is good publicity, is true, because my Facebook analytics is going off. Since it's a business page, it's like, you know, like you're getting 20,000 views every 2 hours. Because people see that story and then, let me see what Jay's doing. Mr. Sifu, a rock star, Shay Wise, whatever. Let's see what he's up to. See if he's on the street or if he still looks like he hadn't slept in 6 months in that mugshot. It's kind of hilarious. But most people reach out, is my point to that little deviation there, in a positive way to say, of course we know who you are, we don't believe this dribble and nonsense and all, but the people who don't know, who just kind of know me as a local celebrity or the public figure guy, the guy that does the videos, or a lot of people know me from years ago doing fighting and martial arts and all of those things. I still teach and everything. I still teach meditation, but that'll never be on the news. I've worked with all of those police departments. That's a fact. It's on the record. Every one of those, from Andrews to Georgetown to Myrtle Beach, all those sheriff's departments, special operations, tactics, all that kind of stuff. Guess who they call? Me, my teachers, those people. They don't anymore because they all get hurt. Because you know where they spend all their day riding around. Not all of them. There's a lot of good officers out there doing the jobs, and I don't hate any of those guys. Now, I knew the guy personally that came and picked me up. We're just like, yeah, whatever, you know. Now, I'll be out tomorrow. Let's just roll. Fist bump. See you next time. That never makes the news. Guy goes out of his way for free to work with law enforcement to train them. Of course, I don't do that much anymore unless I know a few officers personally. I would go to their house and train them for free. Never makes the news. And that's a slam dunk. How many people are going to do that? These officers are getting trained in, like, if a guy grabs you, you grab his wrist and you turn it like this and take him down, draw your gun, and they're getting stabbed to death. When they're running around because they spend all day sitting down with no fitness level and break their leg as they're running away from the car. Because they can't chase a guy more than 30 feet before they got to stop, call for backup. So they hire us to come in, that's my point. So, but that doesn't make the news. When you go, look, you know, you got a problem, we could single that out. Let me help you in some way. And we do that, and a lot of those guys jump on it, and they have a good time at it, and they become better because of it. We learn, too, from them. And that's the way it should be. Never makes the news. Like I said, you saving babies all your life. You won't be on the news one time. Not unless you know you're of a specific ethnic group that they need to report on. And, or you got a senator for a father. Something like that, you might be on the news. Because you got a publicist and a team out there doing your jam. I don't. So I'm just out here doing what I do, making these videos, inspiring people, being inspired by others. It's crazy thing about being in that situation is I find myself kind of becoming the village psychologist, and because when you're in a circumstance in that way, everybody's stressed about, man, if I'd have just made a different decision, I'd be at the house instead of where I'm at, looking at a little tiny spot, wondering when I'm going to get out. You know? So your mind is trapped. Not only is your body physically trapped, but you lock your mind. My mind is well trained. Of course, it's uncomfortable. You don't like to be there. And even my mind goes, if I'd have just said something different, or if I decided to stay at the house, I might still be there. But of course, then you wouldn't know the situation's there and you wouldn't be able to take care of it. So there's both of those circumstances. And if I'd have known, I'd have taken care of that a long time ago. So the other part, that story that was ran, that was taken care of. Bam! That had already been knocked out. Like I said, layup. That was easy. Easy. You just tell the truth. And the liars, they're the ones having to deal with the stress of everything else. And then it's boom, lay it up, go to the house. When you get in that circumstance, your mind immediately says, what if I had done this, or what if I had done that? So a lot of people are struggling. That's a moment for somebody that's a teacher. I can either fold up in the corner, because they keep it 32 degrees in a place like that. And then when you ask somebody, look, could you turn the heat up? Well, we keep it a little colder because it keeps germs down. Yeah. We know what else keeps germs down? Bleach and cleaning. How about sweep this sucker? Same dirt on the floor. Same little bloody spot that's been there for 5 years. I think there's even some people been in the same spot for 5 years. But my point is, you're just in there with like a crystallized, like you're living on the fringe of Alaska. Your mind is shoveled around and there's people in there for all circumstances. Same thing, having to worry about, are people going, my mug shots out there and all this stuff, and they're just regular people, not somebody like me that 20,000 people are going to see it. I'm just a regular dude. I'm no more special than anybody else, but I am well known. So 20,000 people see it, just like that. The moment I put my feet back on the street, my phone just turned it on, it just goes off. It has a nervous breakdown. It's like, call me back, I'll talk to you later. Not me, the phone. Just explodes with so much stuff. Like people are like, hey man, I'm praying for you or whatever. But it's an amazing thing. So I find myself trying to help those people. What else are you going to do? You gonna sit in the corner and cry about it, like I said, with the little frozen snot bubble going? Or you put the little tiny blanket, they call it a blanket, air quote blanket, around your head and wrap it around, walk around when you're 140 pounds soaking wet like me, walking around in there wrapped up, talking to everybody, never stop moving. Never stop moving, talking about, and they're like, man, all I did was this or that or whatever, and people in there for different things, you know. Stuff happens in your life, your driver's license suspended, but you still got to go to work, so you take a chance, you get pulled over for driving under suspension. Boom, but everybody sees that mug shot. They don't really think about the fact that like I made a post, and I usually don't like to say negative things, but it's always the track stars. If you get what I'm saying, they're not running, they're track stars. They got certain habits they like to keep quiet. Those are the people busting out. Yeah, look at him, rock star. He got locked up. Yeah. I already was hit with some of those messages. What am I gonna do? Call them out, put their names on Facebook, and say, yeah, you know, stop shooting up. I know what you're doing because I'm a musician. I see you out at the bar with one eye half open, and you dang, but no, because that's not how I operate. What would it change? It wouldn't change a dang thing. It still doesn't affect my story. It doesn't affect my life in any way. I don't care. Whatever. Like I said, you just do what's right. Continue to do what's right. That story tells itself. I am making this video, which I came close to not doing. You may never see it. If you do, I say this sometimes. If you see me saying this, obviously I published it. But I do think it's a little hilarious, but it's crazy at the same time because it involves one of my children and involves certain aspects of my ethics, what I happen to teach to people, the values that I share with people and across tens of thousands of people. I have reached out to hundreds of thousands of people because of technology on the internet, maybe millions. I don't know. I'm not crushing views on some stuff. Other stuff is exploding. I could post one video to get 5,000 views in 2 days. I post another one and look at it 3 years later and it's got 36 views on it, so who knows? But either way, people know my name. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on the television. I was on the news, man. That's crazy. An article. My buddy Charlie Floyd. People that are local will know that name as soon as I said it. Carolina and Carolina Rain. It's got one of the best voices I have ever heard. Had problems in his life. Still a rock star, though. Still killing it. That sucker's on the news. It doesn't matter if he sneezes. Charlie Floyd sneezed in Myrtle Beach and a child fell down. They write an article about it. He was just in the news recently for some stuff that was all negative. And I found out later all that was bogus, and he killed it. He crushed it. Bam! Slam dunk. Had it fixed. Guess what? They never ran another story. They never said Charlie was innocent. You know why? People don't care. His fans care. People who actually care about him as a person. But individuals are so desensitized because news is just so much garbage just flowing out there, and these people that write these articles, they don't care what they say. How many people are going to see my article so that I can get my money? I don't blame them. I understand. You're trying to hit it, trying to crush it yourself, trying to make it, but you got to have some ethics in what you do, at least. But hey, I don't blame you. I'm kind of flattered. This phone in my back pocket is vibrating continuously right now. That's because of Facebook. So thank you for the story, I guess. Because my stuff is blowing up. I'm getting alerts from Reverb Nation saying my dang music when I'm alone is dang crushing it right now. Everybody's like, what's Jay doing? What's Shay Wise doing? Let me see what Sifu's doing. Artist of Truth, every channel, everything that I've ever done is on fire right now. It's a terrible thing, though. Man, I'm a little bit older than a lot of you that watch these videos. But I'm still in my prime. I feel better than I did when I was 18. I'm in better shape now. The 42-year-old me would crush the 18-year-old me, and I thought I was the jam. And when I was 18, boy, I was like, I'm 18. I'm killing it. Climbing on bill till I fell off the clock tower in Georgetown, broke both legs, and nearly died. But I still thought I was the man. But 42-year-old me would slap that guy back. Psh, wake up, son. But I'm still just a dude out here trying to make it. Just a guy. Just Sifu Jay. Just Jay. The reason I even use the word Sifu is people have been calling me that since I was a teenager. It's the Chinese word, means teacher. Cat here. Means teacher. So I use it in my profile stuff and all. It became a nickname. All my brothers and friends and everybody's like, hey, Sifu, because all of my students call me that. And occasionally I've mentioned on here, people always go, why do they call you seafood? You eat a lot of shrimp? No. But I referenced that, you know, hey, it's Sifu Jay, Artist of Truth. Artist of Truth was the channel. Then people started to call me the Artist of Truth. I had to try to distinguish it because I would say, you know, artist of truth, and I had to separate that. So I'm Sifu J. I'm just Jay, just a guy who teaches, who happened to have some skill at martial arts, who happened to learn a little philosophy, who happened to be able to reach a lot of people because I built my notoriety originally with martial art. I built onto that with music and circled it back to my martial art and just kept doing this whole thing. And I would go out and train with all these other great teachers, my Sifu, my teachers, who shared with me. So it just comes down, I try to share it. I make mistakes. Even though I'm out here joking, talking about I'm crushing it my whole life, I've done some stupid stuff. Not the stuff that I'm accused of. I've done plenty of things that never came out that I'd be embarrassed about, just like all of you. But not the stuff that's staying hit in the streets. But a guy's walking around, you hear about old Jay? Jay Why? Hold on, let me get this dust off. Telling those stories. Quick to say that stuff. But we all do it occasionally without thinking about our own lives. I was just thinking recently, like I said about Charlie, not to speak of him ever in a negative connotation. Boy, I hate it for Charlie. He's probably sitting somewhere right now, boy. I hate it for Jay. That's all right, Charlie. It's the way it goes, man. But I'm making this video to be a little bit funny, to say, look, if you can't laugh at yourself, if you can't come in, if I recluse into the shadows on this one particularly, I just can't. I can't run from this one. There was something that it could have been thought of as far worse that I've been going through for 2 years now. Until I saw this nonsense. Because I saw the story myself. Before anybody alerted me to it or anything. I knew what was going to happen. Like I said, you can't do the kind of stuff that I do. Be everywhere doing everything. And if something pops out, whether it's true or not true, without it hitting the papers. But it's never the good stuff. Like I said, when you're hitting slam dunks, that's never on the news. Never. Maybe once here and there. I got newspaper articles over like a 20-year span, 1 or 2 through that whole time. Local guy makes it big, his own star search and does all this stuff, bam, you know. So then I felt like, yeah, I'm hitting it now. I got a newspaper. I one time never hear anything again. Till a few years later, something happens, you get snagged up, and you standing there like this, face right. That sucker's in the paper. It doesn't matter what it was, though. It could be you jaywalked, or you just decided you weren't going to do something that somebody thought you should do. You getting your mug shot taken, that sucker's on the news. But like I said, hey, I should be saying thank you. Run 6 more of those stories. The people that know me know better than to believe that nonsense. And those of you that don't, that's why I'm making this video. And for those of you that don't care, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be swayed either way. What's the saying? For a skeptic, no evidence will suffice. And for a believer, none is necessary. So I don't know which area you're in. I can't say that I don't care. I wouldn't be making this video. I'm addressing the people that do know me, that do follow me, that may see this stuff out there. Depending upon how crafty I get, I'll probably drop my shot, my profile. I don't know, that was a terrible shot, man. I hadn't been up I'd been up, I hadn't been asleep in a day or so. I've had sleep problems since I was a child, but you know what those sleep problems helped me do? Develop skill. Because when you can't sleep, when you finally do fall asleep, you got a guitar in your hand. After 7 hours of just playing straight, you fall asleep. I used to tell everybody that's ever been involved in my life, if I fall asleep, leave me right where I'm at. Don't wake me up and say get into bed, because it's over. I can't go back to sleep. That energy level has allowed me to chisel out like Bruce Lee, or run those miles, or be able to focus into one direction to do anything that I wanted to do in life. But there's the price to pay. That other side is the not sleeping, you know. So anyway, my shot looks like I'd win a couple rounds and didn't come out on the good side. At least they got my race right. Look at that beneath the shot, you know, and then it starts to say black, white, African American, whatever, zebra. And it says what's on my birth certificate. For some reason, that's a touchy subject for everyone, but when you look below my picture, it doesn't matter, whatever, it says American Indian, which is important to me. If you're going to put it out there right, especially when in the connotation of what my children and all their genealogy. The government was polite and nice enough to me a few years back under certain circumstances to take my DNA from me, test it up, allow me to see that 96% pure native. I did have an Irish grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather, married to my pure Apache grandmother. That was enough to get all of this, and the last name Kennedy. But I don't care, we're still all people. When I saw that, I was just like, ah, at least they got one thing true. So it's kind of funny. But I might toss that shot up, you know. Heard any good stories lately? So, I guess I'm going to kill this video right here. So it's running over 21 minutes, which I didn't really intend to do. I may chop it up in a certain way, but I think I'll drop it just like it is. That being said, don't believe everything you hear, especially when in those circumstances. And if you do, then hey, that's your thing. But I'm still out here, and the people that know me know better. I'm on the street though. Today is December the 7th, 1 year to the day after my father died, and I'm out here talking about this dribble. Yes. Shell of a vessel lays right over there under that oak tree. Yet I have to be out here addressing this. I don't have to be. I guess I chose to be. My students would say that. My teachers surely would. But I felt like I needed to. There's more important things in life. It's just like that. Life is like this. Like I told some guys while we were in there, where they're crying about why they're there, and I said, man, you know, no matter how long you're here, 5 years from now, sometime down the road, this is gonna be barely a memory. Even if it's there as a memory. You tangled into that moment like it's never going to change, and this is the terrible thing ever, and all this stuff's going on. I wish I was somewhere else. We can't wish it away, but you can surely adjust your mind a little, knowing that if I just hold on through the night, I'll surely see the sky again. And here I am. December 7th, 2019, Saturday. I hope wherever you are, it's not where I've been. Unless you're the places I've been that have been the mountaintops, looking out at the glory of everything that's before you. As always, love everyone. Talk with you soon.